No, nothing.
Oh, just you?
Oh. Yeah. It's you that's not being picked up in... Holy shit. No? I can only hear myself in your stream.
Yeah, I think so.
And other people who are talking. just not...
OBS has done that to me, where like, if you click on the settings, it'll go back to using whatever source you had been using. Like it'll randomly switch off with it, or just not use it. When I've been on that side.
Oh, they need to hear you. Us not so much. They
Okay.
definitely need to hear you.
Now everything should be right. Can you hear me and them?
Yes.
Great.
Yep.
We'll do this all over again. I don't know why, but Streamlabs reset my audio to disabled. It disabled all audio input devices. So that was freaking weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's try this again. Which is good because my last introduction was full of ums and ahs because I didn't even know what I was really trying to say. So, we have a few announcements. The first thing is that Ectherion is back on camera with us. And
Yay!
And we have a legendary bundle that he is giving away to one lucky follower when we hit 1,000 followers. So go ahead, grab the link that's down in the panels, share that on social media, get people in there, have them check out the streams, and you could win a legendary bundle for D&D Beyond. Every single book, discounts on any book that comes out afterwards, could be yours. We do our dice giveaway every month. When we hit 50 subscribers, we give away a set of dice, care of our sponsor Farboco. We already gave away one set for the month of December. The next time we hit 50, we will give away another set. And finally, we have our art contest going on. If you draw Sharp-Eyed, our Lizardfolk companion NPC for the Tuesday game, A Dark and Hungry God, then we will give away some cool shit to you, to first, second, and third place. The community is going to vote on it. We're going to share it on the last Nights After Dark of the month, and that will become the official artwork for our NPC. So, go ahead and get on our Discord server if you're not already, and check out that. Without further ado, let's introduce everybody. Do you want to get us started, Rye?
Yes, I'll be happy to. Hello, my name is Rye. I am playing Vargan, the Psi Warrior fighter, who is trying to find out the if his theory of why the dragons have left is true, which has taken a slight detour as the rest of the party that he has come in contact with have released doom upon the world. And he is doing their best. He's doing his best to help them stop a Necro Armageddon. And with that, I shall hand you over to the person that released this possibility into the world.
Oh, he's not. He's long gone.
Huh? Oh, I thought that was.
Nope.
Oh, okay, my bad. In that case, I'll hand you over to the person that should have stopped him.
Yes.
Chris.
Me? Me? I really should have. I think that would have been an
We also
interesting
have.
PvP. Yeah. So it's kind of everyone's fault.
I blame all of you.
Yep. I blame everyone who isn't me.
I'm literally the only person in the party that isn't to blame.
When bad things happen in Orden, no one ever blames the DM.
But that said, Hi there, I'm Chris, also known as Ectharian, basically all over the internet. I play Joffrey West, the human warlock paladin who has returned from 500 years in the Feywild under the power and influence of his archfey husband, trying to figure out what is happening, how to fix it, and what can be done to protect his home. And I will hand you guys off to our favorite crazy fucking kobold, Caliph.
That Caleb, no. Go ahead, Brad.
Hello all. I am Brad. I play the not kobold barbarian. Caliph. Just because kobolds find Caliph sexy does not make him a kobold by default.
No, that's not how it works.
Hard disagree.
Yeah, Caliph he's just working to stop the big evil as well, as his friends are dropping out of the party right and left. And
Poor
I will
Caliph.
pass you over to the actual kobold of Kerr.
Hey, I'm Justin. As he said, I'm Kerr, the kobold cleric, who may or may not have accidentally released something horribly evil and is now hoping that he can find some way to fix that. And that leaves us with our resident wizard, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hi, I'm Marcus. I'm playing Gemwin Magnowitz, the transmutation wizard with a 2-level dip in fighter. Gemwin is, I think the most pressing thing about Gemwin right now is that they have a thirst for knowledge that they have always had, but now it is fueled by wanting to defy the laws of nature to bring their friend back. Their fastest friend back.
And I'm the Mark Knight. I am your dungeon master tonight, and several times throughout the week. When we last left off, the party had been traveling in the direction of Coriel Forest in order to look for a secondary route to the item that they believe Solivel, servant of Enan Volkmar, Death Knight, is searching for. They know that the Death Knight had declared before his jaunt across Oridon that he would be searching for the grimoire of Enan Volkmar, the Codex Mortem, and the body of Enan Volkmar in order to resurrect its master. The party, seeking a way to retrieve the grimoire before Solivel could get his hands on it, found a map within Vargan's map case that indicated 4 points within Oridon that they believe are connected to that book. As they traveled, they discovered some troubling news about some wartime movements throughout the south of the world of Oridon, hoping to head off a set of wagons with some caravan guards leading into the wrong direction. They came across a hobgoblin barrier. In the course of dealing with it, an unexpected visitor arrived. A tiefling named Trust, who seemed to know who Caliph and their companion Corin were. He offered to take them to someone who may help them, someone that he is employed by, with an offer of aid, but under mysterious circumstances, promising that regardless of how long this meeting may take, they would be one step closer to the goal that they have in mind. You've entered through a doorway in space into a long, wood-paneled hallway, richly decorated. As Trust closes the door behind you, he says, well, if you'll take the first door on your left, you'll find my study, and we can have a little chat before we move on to meeting with my employer.
Vargan follows his directions. Trying to
Caliph
take in
will
as
as well.
much of the area as possible.
You said Caliph would as well?
Yep.
As you take a left into that room, you find yourself in a space much like the one depicted on the screen in Foundry. Several tables with books and parchments laid out, flickering fire and candlelight, a few large high-back leather chairs, and a vast arcane library. This is Trust's study. The windows look out into just this swirling sky of arcane energies. There's no ground, there's no horizon. It's just kind of this swirl of the weave flowing past the windows. Almost like a eye-level aurora borealis right outside the window.
Can I see if I can recognize that? I mean, is it just like an effect? Is it like a void, or is it actually like the night sky with stars and stuff?
It's just kind of a void.
Okay.
Trust offers for you to sit. There are several comfortable chairs, not just the chairs around these tables filled with books and parchments. And he just kind of, gestures for you to take a seat. Would you care for anything to drink or eat?
Vargan is in a whole world of his own as he starts looking at the various volumes of tomes and such. He's just like wandered off.
Okay.
Almost. He's perusing the shelves, fascinated at the different volumes. If he comes across one that speaks to him, then he'll take it out and carefully have a look at it.
Okay. Gemwin? What are you doing?
Yeah, I was about to say practically the same thing. Gemmin would gesture toward the shelves and ask, Trust, was it? May I?
Oh, of course. Nothing leaves this room understood, but please feel free to peruse.
I peruse the hell out of those shelves.
Joffrey, what are you doing in this situation?
Joffrey's just kind of keeping to himself, sitting down, trying to keep everything organized in his head. He's not like super bright or anything. So he's just trying to, he's taking a bit of a wait and see approach to the whole situation.
Okay. As Trust offers you food or drink, do you jump at that chance?
What kind of food and drink?
Most anything you'd like.
That's a bit of a lazy approach, don't you think? I'm sorry. The player, I can't keep I can't keep a straight face. All right, I'm gonna bust out laughing whenever Rye starts giggling. Okay, but yes, he's kind of being a bitch about this.
Let me try this. He waves an unseen servant over, speaks to it in Celestial, and the servant walks off. Calith, what are you doing with yourself in this situation?
Calith ignores all the books. He takes a seat and says, kind of waves towards Joffrey a little bit and says, ignore him. He's kind of like that way sometime. As for me, I'm never opposed to an ale and some roast venison if you have something of that sort.
I believe we can accommodate, yes.
And a mead for us.
Indeed.
We'll also sit down.
Okay. The Trust calls in Celestial to his servant, and after giving you some time to peruse the books, once the servant returns with food and drink, the venison, the mead, the ale, and a sylvan wine that you could find in the Feywilds.
God damn, hell yeah, go Mark. All right, sorry.
Are presented to each of the members of the party who are sitting, and then Trust says, "Gentlemen, or those of you who are perusing my shelves, if you could, please join us around the fire, and that we could have a short conversation before I present you to my employer. He is quite busy, but I prefer to know what I'm sending his way before doing so."
All right. Vargan, regretfully but respectfully, places the book where he found it, and comes and sits down, helps himself to some water.
The servant presents the ale and venison to Calith, presents the mead to Kerr, and then presents the wine specifically to Joffrey.
Joffrey takes a look at the label.
It's a sylvan wine commonly drank at parties in the Feywild. You know it well.
Yes, it will do. He's gonna
Trust,
go ahead and open it.
Trust just smirks and leans an arm against the mantle. So tell me, my good fellows, what are your goals currently? We've had an eye on Calith on and off since Lana and Ander presented him as a worthy gentleman. And so we've seen a bit of your travels over the past day or two, watched what you've done and the choices you've made. And we just wonder, what is it exactly that your intentions are?
Vargan looks around at the group.
Jemwin does as well.
When you say for a couple of days, did you see in the, what you want to call it, Dragon Temple, the events in the Dragon Temple?
We saw you on your journey from Twiland Hill. We saw you at the rest stop, but wherever you went down below did not allow for that sort of thing.
Well,
we were unable to see you while you were in some dark place.
Well, that dark place was a temple of Ian Volkmar. And while we were there, the Loxodon we met at the rest stop on a mission of redemption, you could say, of his own, set free one of Volkamar's more powerful servants, a Death Knight. And we are currently trying to intercept that knight before he can complete his goal of bringing Volkmar back.
I could see how that would be bad. Why? Why do you pursue this creature?
As I said, to prevent him from bringing back Volkmar.
Yes. Yes, you did say that. I wish to get to more of the heart of the issue. What has set you on your course to prevent him from doing so? What benefit is it to you to stop this creature from pursuing its goals? Why do you feel you should do this?
Rather not be up to our waist in undead trying to eat us. Bargain is very confused.
Chalice says, because it's the right to. What other reason do you need?
Ah. Would your fellows concur that this is the reason that you should do this?
You'd have to ask them.
And so I do. Is this why? Do you agree that the simple answer to this question is that it is the right thing to do?
Vulcan nods.
Yeah.
But looking at Trust's, like, where you're going with this kind of look.
Kerr agreed. What say you, Mage? When he looks to Gemwin.
Of what I've been briefed on regarding Enon's last, it would benefit most people living in Oregon to prevent it, assuming they enjoy living.
And Joffrey, I believe your name was?
It is the right thing to do.
Is that why you
From
pursue it?
From both a sense of personal accountability as a human being, and from a sense of righteousness, because Volkmar doesn't want to just stop at. Volkmar wouldn't stop at something as trivial and banal as the material plane.
Trust nods after taking a deep breath and looks to each of you. I'm glad to hear that this is your motivation for stopping such a creature from completing its goals. For my employer is very concerned with the motivations of those he employs. He will present you with an opportunity which can provide you with benefits of patronage. The opportunity does, of course, come with responsibilities. I will let him explain more. But the answers that you have given have proven to me that I have not wasted my time in scouting you, in approaching you, or in bringing you to my home. Kerr, even you, whose speech I caught wind of only a few days before, believe that it is the right thing to do.
Yes, we do.
Once you finish your beverages, if you'd like to have a discussion amongst yourselves, I can give you time. But otherwise, I will take you to meet my employer.
Yes, we could use a minute to talk among ourselves.
Then you shall have it. And Trust will step away and move over to one of the far shelves across the room, giving you enough space that, should you speak quietly, you should have some privacy.
I'm going to tear my gaze away from the volume of tomes and books that's distracted me previously. Are there any symbols or markings in this library?
As in, not on the books, but prominently.
Yeah, like on
Prominently
the
displayed.
carved into the furniture and the walls and floors and windows. Any sort of designs that speak of purpose or reference.
There is one. There is carved into the mantle of the fireplace a symbol of a golden dragon in flight in a circle.
I was going to quickly go and have a closer look at it and see if I can deduce anything else from it. And
Give me an investigation roll.
investigation, not history.
Actually, history. History is fine.
I mean, either's good. I think they're both the same for me anyway.
Okay, I think history makes more sense because you've already spotted it, right? You've already looked at it. So, if you haven't, to see if you can make any connection to anything else, I would have a history roll.
Okay. Oh, hang on a minute. My thing's being weird. Let me try it from here instead.
Mm-hmm.
History. God, I love that +7.
Well, you recognize that this is, in fact, a golden dragon from your studies of dragons so far. Though they left Oregon thousands of years ago, or a couple thousand years ago, there is still evidence of what they were and what they were like. Or at least what they looked like, if not their culture. But this is not the symbol of any organization that you are aware of or recognize. It is very well carved, very accurately depicted based on the studies you've done of dragonkind up to this point. Right down to the frilled wings that connect from arm to tail of the body of that type of dragon.
And the red whiskers and the green eyes and
it's just carved out of the marble of the mantle, so there's no color to it. But it is in flight, and in the background of the flight, faintly etched, is a mountaintop that does not look like any that you know of in Oregon, but it looks awfully similar to descriptions of a particular peak within religious texts.
you want me to make a religion roll to recall that much?
There are where Orad holds court amongst the gods is said to be at the top of a celestial peak. And this looks like a depiction of that particular peak.
As I return to the group, there's nothing else on the carving.
No, there's no words or anything like that. It is just that iconography within a circle.
Right. Okay. As I turn around to rejoin the group for our deliberation, I will glance at Trust to see if he took note of me studying the thing or not.
Trust has his nose buried in a book.
Okay.
What is everyone else doing? Kerr, you're the one who said that time for deliberation would be good.
I'm gonna lean in. Alright, guys. Who wants to take the lead on this? We should probably just have one person asking or talking mainly for the group.
Vargan speaks up since other people are taking their time. I've only just joined your party. I do not feel that it would be my place to take charge. I feel that others of you would be far more suited.
My personal votes would be toward Yukor or Joffrey. I find myself persuaded by you two the most.
Joffrey?
I'm gonna need a Naismith. Somebody to shoot down stupid ideas. Calith, you think you can do that?
I think I could do that.
Excellent. So, are we going to trust this guy? His name just seems too on the nose.
It's hard to say everything. I mean, he brought us here, but he just really brought us here to talk to his master. So until we talk to him and know what that person wants, it's kind of hard to say at this point.
I think if we were in any immediate danger, we would already be dead. The magic that he has displayed thus far is well beyond any of our abilities.
And he serves good venison. That's always a plus.
I guess. I
There's,
can appreciate a man who knows his meat.
There's Vargan thumbs over his shoulder towards the fireplace. That pictation over there, that is a accurate carving of a gold dragon going to the Mountain of the Gods.
Calth kind of looks at the carving and says, "It's just a carving without any color. How can you tell it's golden?"
Gold dragons, much like all the other dragons, have very distinctive features. If it's not a gold dragon, I don't know what it is. And I know my dragons. I spent my entire life studying them.
Meaning no offense whatsoever. How can you speak to the accuracy?
Okay, at this point Vargan just outward turns and points at it.
Yeah. And above him, I think Jumwin's asking what is it that you've seen before that is denoted what they look like?
Oh, right, okay, I see what you mean.
Like books or
yes,
drawings
yeah. Well, obviously because the dragons left before I was born, all I have to go by are books and texts. However, those books and texts come from the Great Library of. Hang on, sorry, out of character. What's the name of that? The library town
Drayan.
at the edge of Drayan.
Drayan. Yep.
Drayan.
Drayan.
Oh,
The Great Library of Drayan.
Yeah.
Amongst my also my parents' own collection, which is almost as extensive.
Can you bring this up? Well, I'm not bringing up the library. He has a carving of a dragon. Is that significant?
Gold dragons were, how do I put this? The paragon of dragonkind.
Gemini is taking their spellbook out and taking that.
They were what the red dragons were to the evil dragons. Gold dragons were to the good ones.
So like the creme de la creme.
They were as close to gods as anything. They were probably as close as gods as you could get without actually being a god.
So you're saying this guy has a fetish to a good spirit, and that is giving him the signs of the thumbs up?
I'm saying it's highly unlikely for him to display a beacon of goodness, such as a gold dragon, in such accuracy.
If he's bad, right?
It's a red dragon. We might.
Oh, red dragons and gold dragons. I assume, based on what Bargain said, they look different.
There are stories of red dragons waking from their slumbers and decimating entire countries, whole kingdoms. The gold dragons will be the ones that would stop them, from the stories that I've read and the accounts, official accounts.
While they're chatting, I'm going to lean forward and cast Enhance Ability at level 3
Okay.
and give Joffrey and Kaleth Eagle's Splendor for advantage on charisma checks.
Okay.
Ooh. Ah. Well, it looks like Vargan's got pretty good judgment. And Kara, what do you think?
I think we should find out what they want.
That sounds about right.
What do they want? How much? What are they willing to give? What are they are they offering us?
Right. Hey, you seem pretty keen on some certain things, so if he's full of shit, why don't you go ahead and give me a nudge while we're talking? Does that sound right?
Okay. Yeah. We will keep an eye out then.
Thank you. Alright, trust.
He looks up and closes his book. Ready then.
I believe we are.
And what say you? Shall you meet with my employer, or shall I drop you off where you need to be?
Let's go ahead and hear what your boss has to say.
Right. He puts the book back on the shelf and nods decisively. Follow me. Trust leads you out of his study and turns down the hall away from the door that you used to enter, leading you further down this hallway. At the end of the hall is a door, a wooden door of fine make. He pulls out a key and unlocks this door and opens it to a sight of immense splendor. The hallway continues on, made of gold and marble, beyond this door, and leads to some steps down. As you enter this hallway, he turns behind you and closes the door you just walked through and locks it once more from this side and places the key in his pocket. Right this way, gentlemen. He leads you in the direction of the end of the hall. There's no doors in this hall. It is just an opulent white marble and gold hallway, and at the end of it, you take these steps down into a large circular room, vast, with a domed ceiling and Corinthian pillars all around the outside of this circular room. Statues of various figures carved in marble between each pillar. There's opulent trimmings of gold, silver, and platinum throughout this marble. And sitting in the center is an elderly man, cross-legged, and sitting upright. Perfectly upright. He
I look around for canaries.
sits calmly, eyes closed, meditating. You see no canaries.
Okay. Alright. Alright. I was about to call you out.
For what?
Oh, in previous editions of bit of history, in previous editions of Dungeons and Dragons, the dragon god Bahamut would appear to adventurers as an old man with 7 canaries, each of which was a polymorphed gold dragon.
I don't know if you can see the tokens up on the screen, up in this corner, up in the
Yes. Is that what they look like?
First is Trust, and the second is this gentleman
Confucius
sitting in the room.
I see that. That dragon wing cloak he's wearing.
Trust turns to all of you and says, "I present to you Lord Olorian. Lord Olorian, this is Vargan, Gemwin, Joffrey, Caliph, and Kerr. They are traveling companions who I believe you may find of interest. I will leave you to it then." And he takes a step back and stands by the door, or by the stairs that lead up back to the hallway. Olorian slowly opens his eyes and motions for all of you to step forward.
Vargan does so.
Yeah, Joffrey goes ahead and takes a few steps forward as well.
In a deep rumbling voice, Olorian says, "Welcome to my home."
It's nice to meet you. I'm Joffrey. These are my friends. Vargan, Gemwin, Kerr, and I'll go ahead and introduce each person. We were told that you were in need of some assistance. Figured we'd go ahead and hear you out before saying yay or nay.
A slow smile crosses his face. "It is I who believe that you are in need of assistance. I have come to offer you both assistance and opportunities to continue to do the type of things that you are already doing to further benefit all of Oridon and its well-being.
So you're just some sort of magical philanthropist.
I am the benefactor of an organization dedicated to helping protect the innocent in the world.
Wow. That sounds like quite the impressive resume.
Can I make an insight check?
Yes.
This guy on the
Yeah,
just to see if he's on the up and up.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask if I can make an investigation check around the room.
As far as your insight check, Kerr,
Let's be the first one.
there's no... He is making direct eye contact with Joffrey, speaking in slow, purposeful statements. There's no fidgets, no tells, no signs that he is being untruthful or has any malice in any of his in anything that he says. He's being as forthright as you can tell. Vargan, I will let you make a investigation check to peer around the room from where you are. If you try to go walking through the room...
No, just from
Okay.
where I am. I'll start with, him, obviously, as
Mhm.
close as such, but then my gaze will go around the room as the conversation progresses.
Peering around the room, the figures in marble statue that you see are what stand out to you the most. A few of them are figures of legend who had performed great feats of altruism that you would recognize. I don't have names for these figures, but I'm letting you know that you would recognize who they were. Some of them are too obscure, probably to have noticed, or perhaps they acted in some way behind the scenes that they would be given some recognition in the form of a statue beside these legends. The gold and silver and platinum and marble all look impeccably real to your gaze. And age seems to defy wherever this place is. You don't know that you could pick up a particular era that the architecture would be from. Especially considering there's no age to the materials, right? The materials seem perfect. And he himself is, you notice that his hair and beard are the white of someone who has transitioned from blonde to white, as opposed to like a salt and pepper. There's that edge of blonde coloring to all of his hair, and his face. He has almond eyes, slightly pointed ears, and his skin has an almost like glowing shimmer to it, sheen to it. And you definitely do notice the cloak that drapes around his person, that seems to have the clawed effects that you see in the token there. There's also a bucket slightly behind him, on his like on his right, just kind of hidden behind his elbow, like a golden bucket that's just kind of sitting there.
Golden buckets.
Yes, like a pail, like a water pail that would be on a well, but this seems to be made out of gold and is purposefully slid out of sight, but your keen eye notices the edge of it.
One fancy chamber pot.
It's a little close to him to be a chamber pot.
No, but
Yes.
I was just being funny. Hang on a minute. These statues. I'll take a closer look at the statues. Are there any of them of Merwin?
No.
In any of the historical texts that I read, was there any description of Merwin?
Yes. So you would recognize it. There are lots of descriptions of Merwin. Tall, long white beard, typical depiction of a wizard, like from storybooks. Cunning pink hat, fuchsia, almost, that he wore all the time, and a robe that had. He always wore a robe where it was similar to what you would have heard of as described as a robe of stars, but the stars and constellations swirled like the heavens upon it, as if it was the real night sky itself that he was draped in.
So this guy definitely isn't Merwin unless he's in disguise.
Correct.
Right. And yet there is no statue
Of
of
Merwin.
Merwin here.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions about your surroundings or the person in front of you?
Is he
Hold on.
There is actually one other thing I wanted to ask about the statues, because you said that because there's no sense of time, I can't get a sense of how long they've been there or what era they're from.
Correct.
However, I do know that with art styles is another way to make an educated guess. So these statues, do they follow any particular style that was around at the time of, Pictation, or are they all just lifelike?
They are all very lifelike, but I would say that the style would probably be there was a time of enlightenment during the Valkyrian Empire, a time of like where the arts and learning and scholarship were greatly encouraged and grew rapidly, and that seems to be the era that this style is either is either from or trying to emulate.
Right.
Brad, Caliph had a question.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I thought I heard your.
I think that was Act.
Oh, I was being a chode. Don't listen to me.
Okay. So you had asked about his patronage. He had responded to you, Joffrey. And he says to all of you, I am the lord of an order of knights who quietly defend what is good and righteous and innocent in this world and others. I offer you the opportunity to be a part of this brotherhood. If you are true, and if you would choose to help defend, I have resources that I can offer to aid you in this quest, and I can set your feet towards others, if that is something you would desire to do.
Well, I gotta be honest. Your deal sounds pretty nice, but I can't really speak for my friends here, one way or the other. That's something you'd have to ask us each individually.
And it is what I am doing.
Right. I'm not saying you're. I'm saying that as much as I would like to help you with your. As much as I can see us having a beneficial arrangement between the two of us, I can't make any promises that I'll join your little group. I hope you understand. I've got a home to get back to.
He nods.
That said, I'm sure that while I'm here, we can have a mutually beneficial arrangement.
I do offer this opportunity to each of you.
Well, guys, what do you say?
Gemwin will step forward just slightly and raise a hand to somatically, I guess, request audience or like to speak.
Please speak.
My instinct, my current rationale tell me to say yes, but I have a question. May I take a reading? May I take in a sense of the magic in this room, including around your?
I will allow this.
Gemwin casts detect magic. Their gem starts to glow a blue, like an aquamarine blue, and it flashes once, like a camera bulb when they have those.
Like the phosphorus camera bulbs?
Yeah, precisely. It's just like a quick, like almost chemical flash.
Love it.
I'd like to know about anything in the room, but specifically if this fellow is magic, I would like to know that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think he is prepared to have your head explode like in Scanners.
Shards.
There is transmutation magic on him and the room around you.
Gemwin smiles. If you don't mind my saying, your form, at least right now, is not what you always look like. And this room as well is altered in some way.
The room he pauses, considering his words. Do you know of the spell that is called Rope Trick?
I don't have it like in my spellbook or anything.
What's your
Am I
Arcana?
liable to have heard of it? Yeah.
Well, you don't have to roll Arcana. What is your Arcana?
+7. Passive is 17.
Yes, then you would know of the spell rope trick.
I do. I don't know it myself, but I have heard of it.
This place is like that space, but much larger.
A pocket.
He nods slowly.
Fascinating.
As for me, you are right to deduce what you have from your reading of my magical aura. I choose to appear this way, as I feel that this form is more comfortable for myself and others, and for my protection.
Understood.
My purposes put me at odds with beings of both great evil and great power. I do not wear this guise to deceive.
While he's speaking, Jumwin is stealing or casting glances toward Vartigan.
So what do you really look like then?
Yeah, come on, give us a show.
I am a splendor for the eyes to behold. One that would
Celestial.
be difficult for you to comprehend fully.
Oh, I bet he's got like a really weird mole on his face. That's why he doesn't want us to see it.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, thank you for sparing us.
Mark,
Yes.
the question I posted to you.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's in the Foundry chat.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I will need a Arcana roll for that.
Okey-dokey. And that's also +4. Oh god, I'm gonna need that +4. 4. 16 total.
You have not. There's not much knowledge about the abilities of dragons beyond the fact that they were incredibly intelligent and that they also were the crafters of much magic and magical items, or artifacts and legends. Remember, you're researching something that disappeared 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, that's why.
So-
That's why I asked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to use Divine Sense.
Rope trick.
Divine Sense lets you know the presence of fiends, fae, celestial, and
Fiend,
undead
Fae, Celestial, and Undead.
within a certain radius of you, or
60 feet.
And I think in 5e it's also quite specific about what it is rather than just, it's
can you
something.
post the ability in Foundry, please?
Yes, I can.
Areas that have
It
been
is
conquered.
anything. It is specifically anything affected by the Hallow spell.
Or ceremony, I think, too.
Nope, just Hallow. Ceremony doesn't do anything.
Isn't it consecrated or desecrated places? And then it's by like a few.
There's Hallow. There's Hallow and Unhallow, and they're kind of the same spell.
Yeah. You know its
yeah.
type, but not its identity. So you would know.
Yep. I would know if it's a celestial, fey, fiend, or undead, but not the
Who?
name.
Right.
Yeah. Or like, I wouldn't know if they were a vampire. I would just know that they're undead.
There is a celestial before you.
Ah. All right.
But Vargan.
I keep that to myself, by the way.
Okay.
When Gemwin exchanges looks with Vargan, Vargan kind of like there's a slight nod and shrug, kind of like a possible. He's not sure.
Gentleman will speak up again. Might I ask something a bit forward?
You may.
Your species, your people, have they gone by any names that we know?
I no longer have a people. I am a being singularly.
Gentleman looks over at Vargan again, like, no more left. Like,
To my recollection, while dragons were, powerful beings in their own right and such, did they also have their own deities?
There are hints of a goddess that the dragons worshipped.
Do I recall the name of the goddess?
The name of the goddess is not written within anywhere.
Just that it was a goddess.
Yes, there was a goddess who birthed the dragons.
Is there any word or phrase that is a direct link to the goddess?
like a blessing or something?
Uh,
Or like how Catholics have, and also with you.
hmm.
I mean, there's blessings.
Yeah,
There's references.
I know what you're asking. I'm trying to consider whether it would be something that you would have seen or come across, or if it even exists, and how.
Yeah, that's
that's what I'm trying to do.
I feel like if it did, it would only exist in exchanges between dragons, and then it's a question of how liable anyone outside of dragons are to have did it. Right?
And that is the thing I'm trying to determine. So I think no, I don't think this is something that something like that is something Vargan would have come across in his studies.
Vargan looks troubled, very troubled, as though he's struggling with an idea that he can't quite formulate.
Way back when we were in Twiland Hill, did Genevieve's brother, what's his name again?
Ander Brightwood.
Ander, did they say what organization they were from?
They just said they were knights.
Okay. But Trust said that that's how he was, right?
Your little group got a name.
They are the Knights of Valorian. Or some have come to calling themselves the Knights of the Golden Dragon.
Huh. Alright.
Well,
this offer, our secrecy will be assured before you
they're gonna
leave.
wipe our brains.
Ew.
I know.
You could get an inspiration point for that, Gar. Absolutely. That's a wonderful ew.
Trust did mention when he introduced himself that the reason he knew me and Corn was because of Ander, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is Ander Brightwood a member of these knights?
Ander is one of my most trusted knights.
What's kind of going through Cal's head a little bit is kind of ever since he was rejected by his father, he has found some friends and some short-term goals, but he's kind of always been looking for a place. So when he says what he's going to say, it's very earnest. I know Ander and his family, and the type of organization that you described is exactly the type of place in the world that I think I've been looking for. And were my life path my own to choose going forward, I would very much like to join your organization, but unfortunately I am under other obligations in the future that I cannot disavow. If you've been watching me as much as you said, perhaps you know the obligation I speak of. But I can work with you. I can do things for you for the near future. But after a year from now, I have other obligations I cannot turn my back on.
If your obligations are right and true in nature, our organization would in no way hinder you, but would aid you in fulfilling them. Our purpose is to promote what is right and good, and to protect.
Well, my obligation would place me under the orders of someone else, so I would not necessarily, I can't say what I would be doing.
He nods. I understand.
Vargan speaks up. Do you know of my own personal quest?
We have seen only that which you have shared with your companions while upon the surface.
If you are, or at least linked to, who I think you are, or at least you could be, Vargan's is like still kind of struggling with formulating his hypothesis. Then, while you may have not the knowledge which I seek as to why the dragons left, and if it has anything to do with the magic of the land, I'm guessing it has nothing, that you have no interest in such matters at all, and have separated yourself from the other dragons.
You have many questions about dragonkind. Some of those answers can be found here within our resources. those
So I would-
resources would be available to you at times. If you came into our service.
So I would not have to give up on my own dream in order to serve a greater good.
You would not.
Well, that much is a no-brainer for me then. However, as my fellow party member has said, I do have a single prior
Obligation.
obligation. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
He slowly smiles.
I have a sneaky suspicion that you could probably help us with that as well. More than let on. I noticed that these heroes of deeds, both known and unknown, surround you, and yet I do not see Merwin.
Merwin.
Surely, if he was deserving, maybe he was not part of your order?
Merwin was not among us, though conversations with him were had. He did not always operate under a banner of protecting this world or those who inhabit it. Some of his choices were for his own benefit.
He was only human after all.
Lorien nods slowly. A concession to your words.
I would very much so like to speak more of your order and my place upon it after my current obligation is done.
Each of you has a choice to make now. Some of you have made that choice clear. Joffrey has decided that it is not within his ability to be a part of what we are doing. Caliph, you have suggested that your future obligations would hinder you in joining our order. Vargan, do your obligations also hinder you?
For the short term.
Gemwin, the offer is presented to you as well, unless your questions have not been fully answered.
They've been answered sufficiently. My answer is yes. But I do have one more. More forward than the last.
You may ask it.
Are you a dragon?
In some ways.
That will be sufficient.
That's not an answer.
Sufficient? Everything I want? No. Sufficient?
That's not. Kerr says that out loud, right? That's not an answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Gemmin would leave it at saying that it was sufficient.
Kerr, I sense within you a Who are you, Kerr?
I look confused. We are Kerr.
What is Kerr?
We are Kerr.
Are you a kobold?
I look down at myself. Yes. Yes, we are.
Are you only a kobold?
We might not be real.
And so, in some ways, you are a kobold.
Now Kerr just looks like really confused now. Ooh.
Is this a discussion on philosophy, a tree falling in the forest, or is there something more going on here?
Oh, no, Varen. We came from a dream. Yes.
I never know what to make of it. I just find it amusing. Plus, he's great and reliable. I think that's really all you need to worry about.
That is all that I am concerned with. What say you, Kerr, the kobold?
Apparently he's musical.
I think we can work together.
If you will swear yourselves into the order, then I beg you to step forward. And if you choose not, then I beg you to step back to my servant.
Joffrey goes ahead and takes a step back.
Before I take a step in either direction, may I ask you one last question?
He nods slowly.
What was her name? I've always wanted to know this. It was never written.
And it is only spoken amongst her faithful. She is the goddess. Not one to whom I subscribe.
Vargan looks slightly surprised at that. But then, as the rest of the gears clink into place, things start to make a bit more sense to him. Vargan will take a step forward.
Kerr does also.
Gemmin.
Vargan looks very surprised at Kerr stepping forward. I thought you already had a goddess.
Sorry, I was typing something to Mark real quick. Well, as long as we don't have to. We can help without truly believing, can't we?
I'm not sure. seems like an all or nothing kind of deal. Bargain looks at rubbish. So I've forgotten his name already.
Aloria?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oaths will be sworn. Your loyalty will be expected.
Caliph kind of hesitates and then asks, "Can I swear to serve for the next 10 months?" And then as you say my duties might not interfere with my future obligations. Once I'm under those obligations, I can talk to people and we might be able to work something out. But as I said, that's not 100% up to me.
Unlike your previous experiences, our knightly order is not an army. We have no commissions. We are a brotherhood. You enter, or you do not. If this is not a choice you can make now, then I respect your decision. If you choose to change that in the future, we may approach again.
Caliph will give a kind of a slight bow and say, "I understand," and then step back.
Fogan has a slightly confused look on his face, but remains quiet.
And we're just swearing ourselves to the order, right?
Yes. To serve the order loyally, and to uphold its principles. Vargan and Gemwin have stepped forward. Joffrey and Caliph have stepped back, and Kerr has also stepped forward. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Trust taps Joffrey and Caliph and says, "If you wouldn't mind coming with me, we can continue this conversation in the next room."
Actually, I think I'm going to help myself to more of your wine, but I appreciate the offer.
That would be welcome.
Excellent.
Right this way.
You can feel free to share a glass with me if you'd like.
I would love to.
Excellent.
And he'll go to the door.
And with that, I'm actually going to step out for a second.
Okay.
That's cool.
Take your time. Did we?
He did a thing. Yes, he did do a thing.
Okay. Okay.
What?
No, nothing. You shut your camera off. We weren't sure if you were shutting your camera off or not, if I had to adjust cameras.
Oh, no, I wasn't leaving. I wasn't turning off the camera.
No problem.
Oh, okay.
I was just muting.
No problem.
Wait, so Mark, was that you fucking with the screen then?
No.
That was me. I accidentally clicked on the common room instead of the game channel.
Okay.
Okay, that was perfectly timed.
Oh, that's why Bowie said hi, Caliph.
So disorienting.
Alright, sorry.
Expecting one group of people and yeah.
Caliph, Trust leads you and Joffrey back to his study. leaving the other 3 in the room with Elorian.
Okay.
Trust is going to cast Modify Memory on the 2 of you. You can. He says to you, "You have to understand that I must modify your memories of this place, so that so that my lord's secrets are well protected. This is not something he can do for himself, but something I must do for him. I ask now if you are willing to accept this. If you choose to resist, I will have to have a more serious discussion with you."
Modify it in what way?
I will remove the entirety of the conversation that you had with Lord Elorian. You will have no knowledge of the knights. You have no knowledge of him. You will only remember coming here, being offered an opportunity to speak with him, and turning it down.
Ah, yeah, that's fine.
I agree as well.
Okay. Then the 2 of you have the entire memory of the conversation that just took place in the other room completely removed from your mind. And the only thing you remember is coming here and turning it down, and are now sitting here awaiting your friends. And that is what you will remember. Or actually, you'll probably remember the point at which all of you are back in this room. If that makes sense.
Like, we just remember watching Jemwin, Kerr, and Vargan walk into that room, and we've just been chilling here shooting the shit the entire time. Is that kind of what our memory is?
Let's see. You attempt to reshape another creature's memories. One creature that you can see must make a wisdom saving throw. You're choosing to fail. If you are fighting the creature at advantage, you can affect the target's memory of an event that it experienced within the last 24 hours, and that lasted no more than 10 minutes. So the conversation with Elorian is just gone. Okay. Obviously.
Yeah, I was about to say, instead of us saying, "Yeah, we'll talk to him," me and Calith both think that we said, "Nah, we'll pass. We'll wait here."
Yes, that is
right,
correct.
That sounds good.
Vargan,
because the mind rationalizes the rest of it, right?
Yeah, basically.
All right, cool.
Vargan, Jemwin, and Kerr. Elorian stands. It is a fluid motion as he does.
As he does so, I'll have a bit more of a look at the pot. Bucket.
When he stands up, he steps in such a way that his cloak hides it behind him. Give me a perception roll to see what you catch.
Have I seen this pot?
What's your passive investigation?
Passive is 17.
Yes, you saw it too. Vargan, as he stands up and steps in front of it, you notice that it is, there are a number of, blue, like, sapphires in it, like small M&M sized sapphires.
That's his snack bucket. Okay, now in character, I'm guessing Vargan knows about
the diets of
dragons.
Of dragons. Make a history check.
Ah, you son of a bitch. I mean, his passive is 17.
I know it is. Yeah.
24.
Yes, you've heard that golden dragons eat gems.
Specifically, is there like any particular thing about like what type of dragons eat what type of gems, or is it just only gold dragons?
I think it's gold dragons eat gems.
Okay. Vargan, almost reverently, takes a knee. As soon as he sees the sapphires, and then, like, his hypothesis becomes more of a theory. It is truly an honor to meet one of your kind in the flesh, so to speak.
Haven't you met humans before?
Vargan, Vargan just, as a matter of fact, just still on his knee, but turns to Kerr. This is a gold dragon.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't sure until I saw the bucket of gems.
There is.
I do not know of any other dragon that partakes in gems specifically.
I look at the old guy. Is this true?
Which is which thing true?
Are you a gold dragon?
I am a Lorien, he says, mirroring your We Are Kerr.
Perhaps a better question would have been if he was once a gold dragon. Something tells me he is a bit beyond a mere dragon at this stage.
Hey guys, my
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
your stream's gone.
is it gone?
Yep.
It says that it's skipping some frames, but now it's back to normal.
Oh, yeah, well, the chat's still going. Now everyone's fine.
Alright, we're good.
I look
Lo-
back to the old guy. What are you exactly?
I can see that your curiosity will not be sated, as the others was. I am a celestial being, and as your companion has rightly deduced, I was, in my mortal life, a dragon.
I step back, turn around, walk to the door, and step out.
Then just you two.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Alorian looks to Gemwin. If you would follow the course of your companion and kneel, please.
Before I do, I feel there's something that you should be apprised of. If you find that it makes me unsuitable for this position, I would. I seek to bring back a friend from beyond the Veil of Day. I don't know where that lands on your morality. But if it falls outside of what you deem to be acceptable, I understand.
That realm does not belong to me, and so I will allow the Lady of the Long Sleep, who governs such things, to bear judgment on that choice. If you feel that your lost acquaintance, companion, friend is worthy of returning, and if they would choose such a course, and if the lady would allow it, I see no reason to cast it as unnatural or unjust.
Gemwin kneels.
Alorian reaches below his cloak and draws a sword. The sword's hilt and crossguard are shaped like that of a griffin. A griffin's wings as the crossguard, and its head as the pommel. It is gilded and jeweled. A black leather handle laced with golden trim between them. And as he draws the blade, it shines with a pale golden sheen. Vargan, this is one of the Legion's blades. He steps forward and lays it upon one shoulder, and then the other. Vargan...
I'll bow my head solemnly as he does so.
Vargan, your character, do they have a surname? I don't have it written in my notes. Okay.
No, they don't even have a family name.
Okay.
They choose their own name when they come of age.
Understood. Vargan of Coriel Forest and Draen. Do you swear to uphold truth, to protect the innocent, to work for the good of Oradin, to fight against that which is evil and would do harm? Do you swear to be courageous? And do you swear to be loyal to the Order, your brothers, your sisters, your allies, and myself?
By all that I care for in this world, I do.
Then stand, Sir Vargan, Knight of the Golden Dragon.
Vargan slowly gets to his feet. Stands tall and proud.
He walks over to Gemwin and asks to swear the same oath.
I think Gemwin responds with a common Iron Fane, dwarvish oath. Just like making it up, it would be like, by my word I swear it. By my clan I swear it. And then just a few lines of that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Alorian will rest the blade against each shoulder, and then say, "Arise, Gemwin Magmawit of Drakengard Keep, Knight of the Golden Dragon."
Gemwin stands, and they are being...
He sheathes the blade, reaches beneath his cloak, and then holds out a hand to each of you. Or holds out his hand to both of you. In his hand are two golden rings. The symbol that you saw carved above the mantle on the face of the ring, and he offers them to you.
Vargan accepts his. He
Gentlemen,
just holds on to it
please.
for now.
Does Gemwin take it as well?
Yeah. And if my detect magic is up, I'd like to see if it's got anything going on.
Oh, it's magical. Yes. Upon taking it, Valorian turns and returns to the center of the room, sitting where he was. Speak to my seneschal in his study. He will explain the rings and what else you need to know. Welcome to our order. And giving Vargan a side eye, he pulls the bucket into his lap and pops a gem into his mouth.
I'm sorry to interrupt your meal.
You do no such thing. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
We have returned. We're like going really slow. I think there's a lot of internet usage at my house right now, and so we might see a little bit of a hiccup in the stream. Hopefully, it won't be too bad. Give it a sec to catch up. It's a little choppy, but it's gonna be all right. I promise. Let's just give it a second. I hope. I hope it's that and not my computer. The other day it was my computer. Wow, it's really going slow. Sorry, everyone out there.
Technical difficulties.
And
do you think it's because we're currently in a like an ultimate dimension?
yeah, that might be it.
Like what's yeah.
See what happens when you play with pocket dimensions.
I know. I'm actually gonna review my. Oh yeah, it's the internet. It's not my computer. My computer's like, yeah, we're lightning fast right now.
Oh man, I hope Bowie's doing okay.
Sir Bowie the Bodacious?
Yeah.
We live,
How's
brother.
his internet down? Yeah? Cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, his computer went down on Tuesday, but he's got something up and running right now.
He can count the frames and the pixels.
Oh god, the last time this happened, Streamlabs just decided to take a huge crap on me. So, Alright, hold on a sec. Let's see what I can do.
Shit joke.
No, it's beautiful.
I only put it there because I'm hoping that Emmy's still like watching and she will die from cringing.
We are basically a still life right now. We'll be right back. I'm gonna see something. Nope, that did not help. I thought maybe turning XSplit off would help out because it did the last time I did that, but we are just slow as shit right now. I don't know what is going on because it was fine before and now it's just...
Is everyone like using their Xboxes or something?
Yeah, maybe.
Just do what my dad used to do when I was a kid then. Kick everyone off the computers.
Well, this sucks. This is really frustrating. Sorry, folks at home watching. We are trying to get this figured out. Just having some technical difficulties. Be right back. There we go. And I think we're okay now. All right. As you all regather in Trust's study, Trust walks to the door of his study to meet first you, Kerr, when you come rushing back, and he makes you the same offer. Of asking if you are willing to have your memory of your conversation with Elorian taken from your mind, and if you would submit to that.
Yeah, I can see how you would want to keep that a secret. Yeah, go ahead, cast away.
Okay. He then...
Can I make a wisdom save?
If you are choosing to... If you're not choosing to fail, then you can make a wisdom save, but... Did you succeed? I think so. What did you roll? A 12? Or, I got it. Hold on. 17. You rolled a 17. Okay. Give me a moment. Okay, you fail the save.
Can I use inspiration?
You can, yes.
Not that much better.
Oh, is that a 20?
Yes.
That's better than that would be any spell cast by a PC.
True.
It would. Trust looks down at you. Now, you said I can do this. And yet you fight me.
Ooh, do they know if...
Well, when they cast a spell, you become charmed and incapacitated. So if you don't become charmed and incapacitated, they kind of know that you're not under the spell's effects.
That's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are, the charm target is incapacitated and unaware of its surroundings, though it can still hear you. If it takes any damage or is targeted by another spell, the spell ends and none of the target's memories are modified. While this charm lasts, so yes, I believe he would be able to tell if you were under the effects of the spell or not, because basically you would be hypnotized, essentially, until he finished modifying your memory.
Oh my god, this makes the...
All right, fair enough. Sorry. It's habit. Sorry. Go ahead. Cast again.
Okay, he will attempt to modify your memory once more.
I will allow it.
Okay.
I tried.
He just ninth level blasts you and alters like the memories of who
Everything.
you are. Yeah.
He
No, that does make the... Oops, sorry.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say that makes the enchanter, the level 14 enchanting school ability, even that much better, because I didn't know that it was only like lasted no more than 10 minutes. Like, but with the enchanting school one, it's like 1d4 hours, isn't it? That you can remove.
I don't know the ability well enough to know that for sure. I'd have to look it up. Let's see if that works again. I want to try this real quick. There. That's better. Back to my library. Much better. Then, a few moments later, Vargan and Gemwin, when you return to the study, Trust pulls you aside and hands you a small, palm-sized stone. You can contact me this way once a day. And he will turn to the entirety of the group. So, you said you were chasing a Death Knight. You said you were chasing the Servant of Ian and Volkmar across Oregon. Is this correct?
Ah, yes. As a matter of fact, it is.
And were they headed in the direction of that you were headed, or were they headed?
We don't believe so. No, we're actually headed to. Am I cutting out for you guys?
No, you're fine.
All right. We're actually headed into the forest to. I believe it's retrieve some sort of relevant artifact. that will help us in completing our task.
Well,
I'm not quite sure what it is. Perhaps your employer, whoever that is, might be able to give us some relevant information.
Yeah, when we scried the knight once, and he was heading to what was it, Iron, whatever, the one place in the north, Mark knows.
well,
And but we believe his ultimate goal is Raven.
well, if you have the ability to scry upon him, then you can find out approximately where he is.
Well, I'll talk to the Hocus Pocus people.
Don't ask me. I don't know.
Gemwin and Kerr were the scryers.
He's opening the question to the group and looking at all of you.
I attempted, with the use of a scrying, to see where this death didn't work as expected. Drove me mad for a time.
Out of character, am I not remembering right? Didn't we see him once heading up north?
You did.
Kerr did, yeah.
I think it was Kerr.
Okay.
I don't know if Kerr is offering up that information or not.
He'd already relayed it.
Okay.
I gotta restart Discord, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay. Justin, can you hear us?
Talk to the stream.
What's that?
So Trust asked the party if Calith said that you had scryed on Solavel, and Trust had asked if that was possible, then you could scry upon him and maybe discern his whereabouts, and asked if that's something you all would be able to do.
Well, yes, but it's just a general which direction they're going. It's not where they are.
Well, he walks over to a table and unfurls a map of Oridon. Well, tell me, what would be most helpful to you? Would you like to try and get as close to where you believe he might be? Or would you prefer to go somewhere else? Because I can drop you off wherever you'd like.
Vargan brings out his own map, the one with the points located. 4 points. Points to the marked area north in the Iron Hills or something. What's it called? Sorry, I don't have the map in front of me.
Ironstone Hall. I can bring us. Why don't I bring us over to the map? That might be helpful.
Yeah, thanks.
Does that help?
It's
I didn't.
loading.
It is loading.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, Ironstone Hall. Yeah. So
If you want to use the ruler, you can point the direction.
Yeah. So from what Kerr told us that he had scribed before, the Death Knight was going through the ancient forest. We believe that he's going to Ironstone Hall, although there was also evidence to suggest that he was heading towards Ravenreach.
How many days ago was this?
Vargan looks at the others. 3, 4?
Three, was it? Call it at 3.
Today is the 7th. That was the...
Because it was before we hit the trade town.
Yes.
And then we spent the night at the trade town, and then it was
So
a
that
couple
was
of days to Ridgefort.
your
Days then, so almost a week.
your first adventure with them was the 2nd of Septon, and it is now the 7th of Septon, so it was 5 days ago. Groovy is currently the DM, by the way, and I'm Vargan, and Rai is Joffrey.
I think everyone will agree that it's an improvement all around.
Nah, it's better now. We're better. Trust looks at the map and says, well, if it's been 5 days traveling from where you were, and if they were headed to Ironstone Hall from approximately where you said on the path, when did you scried before you went to Ridgeford?
Yeah.
And they were somewhere in the ancient forest, right?
Yep. In the ancient forest, moving north, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Or was it?
Vargan is going to
Or was it northeast?
go for a Hail
I think it
Mary
was
and dig
northeast.
into his cartographer's map case.
Okay.
Yeah, it was northeast.
Yes.
Okay.
So, obviously, I'm trying to figure out where the Death Knight is.
Right. So Trust says, based on the map you pull out, and the description of where you said they were, and the number of days that you said that they had been traveling, that if the Death Knight is anywhere, it is probably within a day's travel of this point on the river.
According to the map I just pulled out.
Between the map you pulled out and the conversation you've been having, yes.
Right.
If all else fails, scry again. Right, Bowie? Trust says, I can offload you there by the river in the ancient forest. Or I can put you back where I found you, or if there's somewhere else you'd like to go, I can take you there instead.
Well, we were originally heading to Coral Forest, where we thought it'll be faster than trying to catch up with an undead that could move night and day through the ancient forest to Ironstone Hall, where we originally thought he was going.
Well, you have a bit of a faster way of travel now, if that would be helpful to you. Or I can drop you back in Coriol Forest. I will let you know that I have friends who have been there recently.
To the forest, or to the point in the forest where we're going? Do you know what that is?
Where are you headed in Coriol?
Vargan will show him the point on the map. About here.
Caliph, I believe you are acquainted with Mirth and Vasir and Luna, the others, yes?
Yes, I am.
Last I spoke to them, that's where they were.
You know what that place is, what that location is? What were they doing there?
They were... I don't know if they're still there or not, but they were exploring a cabin that belonged to the wizard Merwin.
That was where we were heading. And this was a few days ago, you say?
They were there in game, or I should say above game. They are there. It is the 2nd of Septon, and they are there right now, which is 3 days behind you. Oh, 5 days behind you. 5 days behind you in time.
Okay, Vargan looks at the others. Do we stick to Owen's place at Coral Forest, or do we instead try and go to Ironstone Hall instead, or are we going to try and drop on top of the Death Knight?
Do we know exactly where he's going in Ironstorm?
He, as an aside, I will remind you, just in case, that he had told Ecmedenacy that the body of his master had fallen somewhere outside of Ravenreach. It is the 7th of Septon. Bowie.
He's still in the forest even after all these days.
Well, we don't. That's just when he talked to him. They don't. We don't know if they're still.
I don't know that they're.
No,
yeah.
The map I just pulled out.
The Death Knight.
Awesome score with. Yeah. That's supposed to give us the location of the Death Knight.
He tells you.
Or at least where he is or where he's going. One of the two is up to you which one it is.
The Death Knight is. Looking at the map again. If the Death Knight, he tells you that simply because it's undead, you may think that it can move non-stop night and day, but if it encountered any trolls or elves or other obstacles on its path, that doesn't necessarily mean it's just going to continue to march forward all that time. And simply because it has the fortitude of a creature that is undead, does not mean it can just continue to walk for hours and hours on end. At some points, it would have to stop. 2, 3, 4, 5. If they were moving at a normal pace for a human, not an undead, they would be here in 5 days. If they got to move longer because they're undead, which they would, and we're crossing the river, I would say that they might be another day and a half further. They'd be maybe near the river or just beyond the river. Maybe a day's travel beyond the river, day and a half at most.
And the map I pulled out supports this.
Yes.
Think you can move through the forest at the same rate as you can go like on a road? I would think you'd be moving through the forest, but that doesn't matter.
If you were moving on a road, you would be moving probably swifter than through the forest. It is an old forest and densely vegetated.
Not to mention that if there are any druids in there, we kind of did set the send up the alarm. Because remember, Joffrey asked all the animals that they walked by to let the entire forest know that there's this undead in there.
Well,
but speak with animals.
Yeah, but all we saw was that you were like chittering with a squirrel. Like none of us know what the fuck you were doing.
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't say anything about it, did I? No. That's fine. Well,
you could
Joffrey
say it now.
Joffrey will still be like,
yeah.
Plus, we sent up the alarm in the forest, so
yeah, and Vargan
the woods should know.
We did.
Yes, yeah, that's what I told. I never gave him a name, did I? The squirrel Vargan, and the birds, and I think a deer or two.
Okay, all right.
The point is,
Vargan just kind of accepts it and goes back to studying the map.
The point is that if any of the elves that live in there speak to animals, they'll know.
Well,
it hasn't been too long.
Okay.
Trust simply asks you, you tell me where you'd like to go, and I will place you there.
Vargan looks at Joffrey. It's your call.
I'm not really sure. I think that we should stick with our initial plan and head to the. It's a shed, right, in Coriol Forest.
A hut is, I believe, how it was described. Vargan offers helpfully.
And the others agree
Yes.
with you.
Well, it's either that or just go straight to Ravenreach and search for the body of the necromancer.
Not as strong of a lead. Just like, or it's inexact.
So, Jen, when you were breaking in and out for me, I didn't really catch what you said.
The lead we have for Raven's Reach, is that it? Is inexact.
Then I will tell you this. It's information that is close to the vest. My allies who were exploring the cabin found there an entrance to Merwin's sanctum and vault. If this map pointed you, and he points to the one that had the 4 points that you were showing him, pointed to Coriol Forest amongst other places in that exact location, then it is showing you the entrances to Merwin's vault. And if the
I
book
had
is
summarized as much.
if the book is there, it's rather well protected. So my question to you, or if the thing you are looking for is there, you didn't tell him you were looking for the book, did you? That was my misspeak. You just told him you were looking for an artifact that you think might be helpful.
That is correct.
Okay. He says, so if the thing you are looking for that will be helpful is in Merwin's vault, it is going to be difficult for you to get your hands on it. The place is filled with
Arcane wards?
yes. But again,
Alright.
I am happy to drop you there. I do not wish to deter your choices. I am simply giving you as much information as I have available to me to help you make the best decision to complete your goals. Because as you said, this creature accomplishing its task would be detrimental to all of Oridon, and it is something that my employer and I would most certainly prefer not to happen.
Vargan, what was the nature of your map that just said to find a shortcut? That wouldn't have been indicating that just leading us there. Like, us finding trust wouldn't be finding the shortcut, would it?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Well, I don't know how Calvin has this for.
He's asking how much
The map was supposed to help us find a shortcut to find the Death Knight, and so the map sent us towards Coriol Forest. Could us running into trust and him being able to send us wherever he wants, could that actually be the shortcut the map was? I mean, or is the map not that precise?
That's an excellent point.
Well, that is two separate things, you see.
Vargan had asked for a map that would help you get to the. Vargan had specifically said the Death Knight is looking for the book, for this book. I want a map that is going to show me how I can get to the book. Get to the book ahead of him.
I didn't think that's what he said.
Yes. He asked for a way to get to the book before the Death Knight did. And the map showed him these 4 points The map he found had these 4 locations on it.
And there's also two. Vargan will explain. This map case works in 2 separate ways. The reason I have these points aren't a shortcut. These points are destinations. The way I pull out the shortcuts is an entirely different way.
Okay.
Again, out of character, I'll say this. Because this place is an extra dimensional space, he can basically teleport you to where you want to go on the map of Oregon. He can open the door and it will put you where you need to be. So I think it is up to you all as the players to make that decision. Out of game, I will say this. The Tuesday group is exploring Merwin's cabin and the entrance to Mythfont there, and that was 5 days ago in game time. So if I put you directly there, I don't actually know what that looks like. I don't actually know what like is left there by the time they get through it. So I know that's a little meta-gamey to tell you that, but also Trust is letting you know that in an in-game way that I already have agents exploring that option. Yeah.
Right. Plus, it's also like a cry for help from the DM. Please don't make me try to figure out what this looks like.
May I? I think I can solve this with some in-game smarts.
Go ahead.
Right. Vargan looks at. Sorry, who was it that mentioned the body at Ravenreach? The battle at Ravenreach.
The Death Knight.
The Death Knight told Ekmedenesi, who is no longer part of the party, this, but all of them were present when that conversation took place.
Yeah, but someone just now mentioned.
I think there's a few people actually.
Yeah.
It was Caliph. Caliph mentioned it.
Yeah, I think it was Caliph.
So Vargan sort of suddenly kind of puts 2 and 2 together and perks up. One of the destinations just to get into the vault is at Ravenreach. Sorry, no, it was Geneva, wasn't it?
There's one on an island south of Geneva.
Grovair.
There's Grovair. There's one on Grovair. There's one on one of the small islands off the coast of Geneva.
That's it.
And there's one at Ironstone Hall.
Yeah.
Which I think is where you got Ironstone Hall from in regards to the Death Knight. Okay. But the Death Knight was moving in the direction of Ravenreach.
So Vargan goes, if we go to this point, the island off Geneva, that is one of the ways into the vault, then we're also closer to Battlefield, where you think that we should be heading next, regardless, yes? And where the Death Knight himself may be currently heading.
Sounds like a plan to me.
And once the Death Knight is out of the forest, he'll be moving a lot slower. So should have, unless I am missing something, a good couple of weeks to get to the vault and then get to the battlefield. Vargan looks at Joffrey.
You know, you guys picked me for this, and I gotta be honest, I kind of feel like the most used crayon in the drawer. You know what I mean? Sometimes talking to you people, you're very smart. Let's see. We got this island in Geneva. Do we have a way off the island? That's the problem.
Vargan looks at Trust. Would you be able to help us out with that?
Getting you off the island once you're there. I can give
Even if you just send a boat to help pick us up, that would be something.
Or he could put us down on the coast and we could find a boat and go to the island from the coast.
Plan!
Later. Let's figure. Let's just go.
If
We have the money. How about you just drop us off in Geneva, and then we can charter our own ship to the island. Then we've got our own way back.
I can drop you there, and if you have a way of contacting me, I can grab you when you are done.
Ah. Well,
we can talk
we've
to you
got...
whenever we want.
Yeah. Plus, Kerr, don't you have sending?
Mm-hmm.
I think, Gemwin, you should have it too, right?
Actually, no, not yet. Not that I know of.
Well,
No.
one of us has it. That's no problem. We'll be fine. Put us on the island, Trust.
No, Geneva. Vargan interjects. Geneva, remember? Boat across.
I made a decision.
No, Trust said he can pick us up again.
Yes. All we have to do is call him.
Vargan is regretting his life decisions right about now.
Plan later. Let's go. Plus, if there's enemies there, they won't see us coming. If they'll see us coming if we're on a ship, right, Vargan? Wouldn't you notice a ship coming in? Vargan, please agree with my plan.
I've never been on an island before, so I honestly be able to say for certain.
Right, to the island.
So, your plan, if I have it correctly, is that I am going to drop you at one of these other entrances to Mythfont, the one on the island, and then you will explore that for a few weeks before it has a chance to reach the location that you believe it is going to. And then
Correct.
You will want me to take you there. Is that about right? Does that sum up your plan?
Are you able to do it?
Of course I can do it. I am just
That
making
sounds like
sure
a great
that I am
plan, doesn't it?
an understanding of what your choices are. Then, if that's what you wish to do, then I can do that for you.
Thanks, Trust. You're an alright guy. And decent choice of wine. Next time, pick something with a more autumn flavor, please.
Why don't you write up a list, and I will go shopping.
I will. You can be sure of that.
Vargan gives Trust a suffering look.
Are all of your companions in agreement with this plan?
Guys,
I am.
I think it's a really rather nice plan.
We have nothing against it.
Vargan nods in acceptance.
I believe it will do.
Well, then move swiftly, and if I do not hear from you in the number of days it would take for the Death Knight to reach Ravenreach, I will contact you.
Thank you, Trust.
Nods.
Alright, let's do this!
May I make one final suggestion before we go underway, O glorious leader?
I don't appreciate your sarcasm, Vargan.
I wasn't being
But yes,
sarcastic.
you may
I do.
speak. What is it?
Perhaps we should rest in comfort after our last battle before dropping us into unknown dangers.
I mean, I suppose we can spare a day, right? We've got.
I realise that this is a great imposition to you, Trust, but the need must.
I'm sorry, what did you ask again?
If we may rest a while here before you drop us into the island.
Can we spend the night?
Yes, I have guest rooms.
Thank you. You're a real stand-up gal. You're a real stand-up guy.
I
Pat,
appreciate your compliments.
Yes.
Trust offers you guest quarters to stay in for a night's rest. He locks you in to those quarters.
Damn it.
But there is a sitting room, and there are 4 connected rooms. He apologizes that there are not 5.
Okay.
Kerr.
What?
Kerr.
What?
Hey, Caliph, can Kerr sleep in your bed?
He can sleep in the bed. I'll sleep on the floor. I don't mind.
And then Joffrey gives Kerr double thumbs up. Nailed it. Right, we got our sleeping arrangements.
Okay. You take a long rest there within Trust's chambers.
I take the time to attune the ring
Okay.
itself.
Yeah.
My mama didn't raise no fool.
Caliph. That night, you have a dream. In the dream, you are in the wastes again, hunting. Your shaman is with you. He is explaining to you one of the ways that the Azure Mist tribe survives in during the hunt, especially long hunts. I am trying to pull up your shaman's name here. I have it in my
Hamir.
notes.
Hamir. I'm 99% sure.
Hamir.
Elder Hamir.
Hamir. Yep, there it is. Hamir. He looks to you, and as he's it's a dream, and he's pointing things out to you. It's a dream of a time out in the wild that is very familiar, almost like a memory. And then he turns to you and looks to you very pointedly in the midst of the dream, and you can tell that this look that he gives you is not. Brave Caliph, you yet travel with your companions.
The companions I travel with, since I've spoken with you in the past, I no longer travel with. I have new companions, but I am still traveling the land across the mountains.
I told you of a gathering. Or no, the ancestors did, right? The ancestors told you of a gathering? Or was it him? I think it was him.
It wasn't the I thought it was the caravan guard dude. Had heard rumors.
Oh,
of it.
he did. Yes, he had heard rumors of a gathering.
Asgur.
Then he says to you, the ancestors have told me of your doubts and questions. The chiefs and shamans of the tribes meet. A great being has come and declared itself an ancestor reborn of great power. We do not believe her. And you have... Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Is this an ancestor that I would be familiar with? Or which ancestor, I guess I would ask.
Lakatha the Huntress. The Axe Wielder. You know the stories of this particular ancestor as being recognized by the spirit of the Great Hunt as the greatest among the tribes, that as a hunter, she took down creatures that none had ever seen hunted before. Powerful things, some supernatural things, and that she had done so on her own, single-handedly.
How did she return, and what makes you doubt her authenticity?
She strode into the Firestrider village and declared herself as such, and defeated their greatest champion in single combat. Handily. What makes us doubt, is that no ancestor has ever simply returned from beyond.
What does she want?
She wishes to bring the tribes under a single banner. To create a single tribe. One clan made of many. She speaks of glory. She speaks of how the Empire has wronged our people, and how she used to hunt upon the plains, from the sea to the desert, and not only in the wastes and the dunes. She calls us to hunt in those lands again.
Are you saying she wants to declare war on the mainland, essentially?
He nods. Some are rallying to her cause. But this does not sound like the Lakatha of old. You, Caliph, have a strong connection to the ancestors. They protect you. I come to you in a dream now to ask, can you try to reach out to the true Lakatha and see if she will answer your call?
Of course. I will do whatever I can to help you and my people. do you have a way that I can contact you again if I find anything out? Could you send yourself? I am traveling with a kobold named Kerr, who has magic to communicate across long distances. If you could send yourself a vision of yourself to him so he would be familiar with you, I could contact you through him, if that's something within your power. He's near me, if location helps. Although right now, I'm not technically in the world.
You are with me. He says, "Can you dream of this creature?"
I'll close my eyes and try to envision Kerr. And I would say in my vision, he's pretty normal with maybe a few extra pots and pans hanging off him than he actually has in real life.
Okay. You do so, and Kerr is there hunting with you. Your shaman nods, your elder, and he looks at you with grave seriousness. "I shall present myself to him in a dream, much as this. And when you have contacted Lakatha, if she chooses to answer your call, if she is still with the other ancestors, then we will speak."
I will contact her, or attempt to contact her, as soon as I am able. And then I'll kind of have a little wry smile and say, "Prepare yourself for dealing with Kerr. He's a little different than your average conversationalist."
Your ancestor simply looks at you quizzically, but then nods. Or your elder. He just he trusts what you're saying and says, "I will prepare myself." And then you go about hunting in your dream as if that reality-like portion of it had not occurred. Or at least as if it seems to be a seamless part of the dream, I should say.
Okay.
Kerr, you are sleeping. Dreaming.
Yes, we are.
Well, maybe you were dreaming before, maybe not, but suddenly you are sitting in front of a fire, and there is an old man who dresses like Calith. Though isn't Calith and doesn't look anything like Calith, but dresses similarly, sitting upon the other side of the fire, cross-legged, with his hands on his knees.
Ooh. This is unusual. Hello?
You are Kerr.
We are Kerr.
Oh god, why did I lose his name again? My brain.
Elder Hamir.
Elder Hamir, thank you. I am Elder Hamir of the Azure Mist tribe. Friend and mentor to Calith, your companion.
Oh, muscles. Yes.
You know me now. He will beseech you to call out to me with your magic. You will do this for him, will you not?
well, yes, of course. Where are we?
We
This
are in a
place
dream.
What?
We are in a dream.
What? Wait, no, we can't be back in the dream. No, we can't be back in the dream. No, we got out of here.
We are in your dream. Though touched by me.
Okay.
You wish not to dream.
No.
You know me now. This is sufficient.
Yes, I'll help. I'll help Caliph if you just let me get out of here again.
I will relinquish your mind to you. And the dream ends as suddenly as it began.
I wake up in a cold sweat and just lie there and shake for the rest of the night.
Okay.
The next morning, Caliph, you're sharing a room with Kerr, right?
Yes, he's in the bed. I'm on the floor.
Okay. Kerr is laying in the bed, awake and shivering when you wake up.
Kerr, is everything all right?
Yeah. Yes. Your friends. I'll help you. Okay. Just don't let your friend do that again.
Of course. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause you any distress. I just know from my dealings with Felix that your communication spell required knowledge of the recipient, and that's all we were trying to do. I didn't mean to cause you distress.
Okay, just don't send us back to the dream again. We'll help.
They're very well. No more dreaming. I'll kind of pat Kerr on the shoulder a little bit. And then get ready for the morning, I suppose.
Okay. All of you go about your morning routines uninterrupted. And then around after a little bit of time, when you're all moving about the common area of these guest rooms, you hear the door unlock and open, and Trust steps in and says, "I hope all of you rested well." And behind him, an unseen servant is carrying a tray of food and a breakfast and coffee, which is a rarity in Oridon. And he places it, the unseen servant places it upon the table.
Ooh, what is this?
Breakfast. I figured if you needed a night's rest, you also needed a decent meal to go about your day. I also thought it would soften the blow of the bad news I'm about to give you.
Oh dear.
The island for which you asked me to send you must have some sort of prevention from teleportation. I attempted to open the door and could not. So,
I see.
I can take you elsewhere, or
The whole island? Really?
the entirety of the island.
That
The island is not
does
very...
that sound like something that Merwin would probably be prepared for?
It sounds like something that the wizard may have put in place himself.
All right. Then, we'll go ahead and get dropped off in Geneva if it's all the same to you.
As you wish. And that, at least, I can do.
Vargan
You-
takes a sniff of the coffee.
Oh, I am chugging that stuff. After it cools down.
Vargan, it smells like hazelnuts.
What is it that you call this?
This is coffee. It is a... it is a very... it is a delicacy as a drink. It provides focus and energy in addition to a warm, rich flavor.
Vargan takes a small leap of faith and takes a sip.
If you've put nothing in it, it's bitter black coffee.
Yeah. But he's just taking it as is.
Okay.
He's never had coffee before. He doesn't know.
I prefer to utilize a bit of cream and sugar, but that choice is yours. It is taken like tea.
Vargan makes a sort of like a bit of a face at first while experiencing the new flavors. Just some honey would be okay, just to take the bitterness off, I think.
And easily provided. And the unseen servant, he snaps his fingers. The unseen servant carries the empty tray out of the room after placing everything upon the table, leaves, and then returns shortly after with a tiny pourer of honey.
Vargan starts experimenting, adding the honey like a tiny bit at a time until he finds the baby bear.
God.
Galith is just gonna grab like a piece of bacon or whatever, a small piece of a hunk of food,
Sure.
and then say, "Grab me when you're ready to go. I'm going to meditate for a few minutes, and then I'll go back to my room, not knowing I don't have time to do a full communication, but just kind of do some Oathan rituals to reacquaint myself with the spirits, to prepare myself to try to contact her when
Okay.
I have sufficient time."
Give me a religion roll. You try to meditate, but as you said, there isn't much time for you to do so, and you find yourself quickly interrupted that it is time to go. The trust gathers you all in the hallway after you've had some time to eat and gather your things. And he opens the door, and you can hear gulls and smell the sea air. You can look out the door and see the docks nearby. Tall alabaster buildings. And the most beautiful city in all of Oregon stands in all of its splendor before you. You've reached the capital, or what was once the capital of the Valkyrian Empire. And you can see the ages and ages of architecture that is climbing atop one another in the tall, gleaming city on the other side of this magical doorway. And I think we're going to draw it to a close there for tonight. It seems an appropriate stopping point for this chapter.
Rad.
And we can do some favorite moments for the evening. Rye. Favorite
Yes.
Vargan moment tonight.
I think for the rather than like my favorite moment of my character, I'd rather say like I think the moment that mattered the most to the character, which would be when it was like, yes, this entity before him is or at least was a gold dragon before becoming whatever it is now. I think that that was the most important thing that had sort of happened to him up till date. As for favourites, other player moment, it'll have to be when Kerr, after learning that he was dealing with a gold dragon of some description, decided to get the fuck out of Dodge. He was all for like, oh yeah, I'll be part of your order and everything. Yeah. And then, nope, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Just like without even saying anything, just like, yeah, I'm out, and just goes. Yeah.
Marcus, your favorite Gemwin moment?
I liked Are You a Dragon?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, more the whole interaction. I think on some level, Gemwin kind of suspected that too with the motifs, and then just like this person's whole demeanor of being old, and then the detect magic, that kind of was the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I liked your first comp when you first started talking to him. All of us were just kind of talking, and just the way you articulate the way that Gemwood would talk is so Gemwinish. Across in that, just the way you talk to him you do a good job of doing that.
Thank you.
I'll actually. Why don't we do a full round of this, which we have kind of done a shorter version lately, but why don't we go around the table, and anybody else who has a favorite Vargan or Gemwin moment, why don't you share it?
I have a Vargan one. I said it at break, but it's easy. It's I forget what your phrasing was exactly, but what was her?
What was her name?
The goddess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't mention that like it was a goddess or anything. I just said what was her name. It was never written.
Yeah. Any other favorite Vargan moments? I have to say I enjoyed your experimentation with the coffee.
Mm-hmm. I think it's really funny that Vargan's like he's a bit of a foil for Joffrey's ridiculousness.
The straight man to Joffrey's like ludicrous and like unconventional approach to everything. Yeah.
Exactly.
Plan later.
Other Gemwin moments around the table.
His flashbulb description of the casting of the detect magic was nice.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's always fun.
Best part. Wizard.
The clicking, like the like how everything started to click together when Vargan and Gemwin were like following that line of syllogism.
Putting two people who are interested in dragons in front of this guy was probably a mistake.
Yeah, I have to say, actually, thinking about it, I did actually enjoy that bit of character interaction between Vargan and Gemwin, where it was obviously that they were both on the same page and they both were having the same thoughts, and they were sort of like, what do you think? What do you think? And there's just like an unspoken kind of understanding as to what was going on.
Agreed. Chris, favorite Joffrey moment?
Friggin', being a bitch to Trust.
Around the table, other favorite Joffrey moments?
I wouldn't say I'm not sure if favourite's the right word for it, but certainly the moment that stuck out the most was when, as part of being a dick to Trust, when Trust catered to his every whim and produced the Savernian wine, and even though it's like the stuff that was given out at party and celebrations, Joffrey was like, oh yeah, this will do. It's just like, you fuckhead.
It's like nothing else. Like the wine is like nothing else in this plane, and he's like, yeah, it's all right. I did like.
No, it wasn't even like, oh yeah, this will do. It's just like, eh.
I also really liked. I don't know why really, but the metaphor, where Joffrey says he feels like the most used crayon in the box. I didn't fully. In and out of game, I did not fully get what he meant, but just that he would say it and whatever he was like hinting towards, I found very like characteristic.
I had to bite my tongue because while I would be like, yeah, you're the leader, fuckface. it's your job to make the decisions. Vargan would not say that, so yeah.
Is Joffrey the leader? Who made Joffrey the leader?
I have no idea. Joffrey doesn't even know how that happened.
I thought we like, oh yeah, he's going to make the decisions.
I thought he was just going to take the lead.
And then Khaleth was going to sort of balance him out.
Khaleth, Brad said he thought that Joffrey was just going to take the lead in talking to Elorian.
Yeah, same.
Brad, favorite Khaleth moment?
There was a couple. I liked did like the dream sequence, but I think I would have to say just when Elurian offered him basically what he's been searching for like the last 5 years, and then he had to turn it down.
Any others? Favorite Khaleth moments? And I agree, that was a very strong Khaleth moment.
Yeah.
Character. I like his response to Kara being shaken by being contacted through a dream without knowing the context. That a barbarian, this person that we've seen like cut people in half and stuff, would be that receptive and that quickly is nice as a character thing too.
Yeah, that kind of moment of like, oh shit, I didn't realise that was going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I appreciated a lot of Khaleth's moments, even earlier when you guys were in the room in the study with Trust at first, and Khaleth was just like, sure, I'm never going to turn down ale and food. If you have venison, I'll take that. And also, like, the other party members kind of like, or talking about like, oh, like, he said he knew Ander, like, kind of exploring that avenue of trying to vet who Trust was with who he said he knew, and kind of approaching it from that direction. Justin, favorite Kerr moment?
I don't think I really have one. Not for tonight, at least.
It's not the turning around and running away after you realized what you were dealing with?
I'll tell you what my second favourite Kerr moment was, if this helps you at all, which is when the outburst of ew.
Oh, yeah.
I like the...
No, that was pretty great.
Ew.
The getting me out of the. I left the dream. That was my favorite one. He's like, I escaped the dream. What the hell am I doing here?
The conversation between Kerr and Elorian about that doesn't make any sense. When Elorian said when Elorian was vague about whether or not he was a dragon.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
I enjoyed Kerr's response when Elorian asked him if he was only a kobold.
Looking
Yeah.
down at himself, checking to make sure.
Yeah. Others? My favorite DM moment for me was getting to introduce these two NPCs in full, and watching as you puzzled out information about them. They're a couple of my favorites and often used NPCs. So yeah.
The bucket was a nice touch. I mean, Trust was pretty much a complete enigma, which is fitting considering his name.
Yeah.
But the slight nuances which could easily be passed off as just someone who had a thing for dragons, but someone else who was to those that were a bit more kind of hang on a minute, a bit more keen to perhaps find a dragon or see dragons. Take a few more, take the extra leap.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me is still kind of like puzzled as to why he would hide the bucket, since what dragons at isn't exactly common knowledge. Although at the same token, maybe he would be aware of the greed of mortals, and maybe that was the reason why he hid the bucket from everyone.
Maybe he's just shy about his snacking.
Or maybe he's shy about it. Yeah, I suppose there's a
Well,
few
if
other reasons.
wanting to hide it from mortals was his thing, that's probably a good idea, because Kerr wanted to steal the bucket.
Yeah, like I said, the greed of mortals.
Well, yeah, plus, even if you don't know that that's a sign of someone being a dragon eating gems, you just see someone you think is a human start chomping down on gems, that's going to be...
Well, no, I mean, obviously, yeah,
What the
I
hell's
mean,
going on there?
yeah, I wasn't saying like, oh yeah, why don't you just like eat the gems in front of us? I'm saying like the fact that, if he just had like a gold bucket of gems, people might have been like, what the fuck? But I don't think most people would have been there going like, oh, you're a gold dragon.
I love that he like hid it like it's a guilty pleasure or some shit.
Yeah, I do like that idea.
Well, on that note though, like the way he hid it was very much so like a toddler, a naughty toddler
Yeah.
who's like got a candy bar that
He's not supposed to have.
he's not supposed to have.
It seems
Because I
like
mean, with all
dinner.
this magic around, he could have just like put it in a pocket dimension or
Oh,
something,
okay.
like just kind of like, this
Yeah.
doesn't exist anymore.
Just
Castle
magic
Illusion
it
or
away.
something. And instead, he's just like, no, I'm just gonna put this down here.
Well, it makes me wonder. Because Mordekainen's magnificent manor can make food. Now, does it mean that it creates the gems for him to eat?
Oh,
Since that's food to a gold dragon? I mean, that's the question.
I think it
that comes
creates
to
no,
mind.
it's
actual.
not-
I think it would create actual food and not.
Right?
Yeah.
I
no,
was thinking, how rad would it be
Just-
if it was like a gem, if it was like an apple that was a gem.
The thing about it is that the description of a golden dragon says that they can eat most things, or literally can eat almost anything, but they prefer the taste of wealth, specifically pearls and gems. So yeah, this is like a delicacy or a guilty pleasure. So the Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion would produce normal food because a dragon can eat that. But yeah.
Just imagining it now. Like it's like the equivalent of cheesy puffs.
Yeah.
They taste
I
delicious.
also like
but
how
they're not.
on our ending speech here, the bucket produced by far the most conversation in our entire group.
Well, thanks, guys. We will go do a raid, so if you want to stick around and chat, we'll get that set up. And thanks for watching. Thanks for playing, everybody. We will be back next week. We'll see you then.
Bye.